What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content we have coming out. Now, for this video, we're going to be jumping into Suicide Squad, issue number 3. Now, this is part of the Infinite Frontier line, so if you haven't been keeping up with this or the Suicide Squad, go ahead and check out the links in my description, as well as the top of this video. It's going to get you completely caught up on everything that's been going on in these really awesome lines from DC Comics. Now, this is written by Robbie Thompson. Pencils are Eduardo Ponsica. Inks are Julio Ferreira. And in the last issue, we saw Amanda Waller really starting to form her Task Force X. Her little Suicide Squad, if you will. But they still needed a speedster. And this is where Teen Titans Academy comes into play. Now, in the last issue that we saw last week, the Suicide Squad had broken into Teen Titans Academy to try to kidnap Bolt. So with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we dive into issue number 3, Amanda Waller, she's having a conversation with Nocturna. Now Waller is wanting to know everything that she does because she had Superboy under her spell. And so she spills everything that she knows to Amanda Waller, letting her know that after Superman died, a bunch of idiots decided they needed to be replaced, that Superman needed to be replaced. And so Connor Kent was created. And so Connor became Superboy. He joined the Young Justice. He fought alongside the Teen Titans. And now somehow he's part of the Suicide Squad. And so she used her glamour on him and got him talking. Now, Amanda Waller, she needs to know that Superboy is ready and up for the challenges of what come next. Now, Amanda Waller, she truly believes that Connor is going to be the one to lead. Now, we've seen Future State. We know exactly what happens. Amanda Waller is trying to create a Justice League. She's trying to create a Justice League for Earth 3. Now we pick up a little bit later, and Nocturna has gone inside and she talks to Culebra and she talks to Peacemaker. Now Peacemaker, he overheard this conversation and he wants to have a little bit more in-depth talk with Nocturna to see if she knows anything maybe she wasn't telling Waller beforehand. Now Culebra, she's headed over to Amanda Waller because Amanda Waller, she kind of has like a new mission for her, if you will. And that new mission is Talon. Because right now they need Talon to remember. Talon is going to be her next Batman. And so they need him with a clear head, with a clear mind. He needs to remember who he is. And until that happens, Culebra is kind of going to be his chaperone. Now this is where we pick up in the laundry room with Peacemaker and Nocturna. Nocturna is Scott Snyder's comic. Now Peacemaker, he's adjusted the frequencies of the washer and dryer. That way Waller can't really hear what's going on. She can see everything happening, but she can't hear anything. Now Peacemaker, he wants to know what she knows. What she was holding back from Amanda Waller about Superboy. And she lets him know that the way her glamour works is she gets a vibe from targets. With Superboy, it's like there was nothing there at all. When she got him talking about his past, it was like reading from a Wikipedia entry. So the bottom line is there is something wrong with Superboy. Now Peacemaker, he understands the threat of Superboy, but he also understands that Superboy is a symptom to a much bigger problem. That problem being Waller. Now this is an issue for Peacemaker because Peacemaker, he wants peace. And the goal of the Suicide Squad is to bring peace. And if Amanda Waller is getting in the way of him bringing about his crazy, ridiculous, psychotic version of peace, then Amanda Waller is going to have a new problem, and that problem is going to be Peacemaker. Now this is where we pick up a little bit later, and Peacemaker, he's made his way into Amanda Waller's office, and she's kind of giving them the rundown of their new mission, of the speedster that they're going after Bolt. And Waller lets us know that Bolt, she's one of the fastest metahumans on the planet. Fast enough to escape them on more than one occasion. Now Waller knows that she has burst speeds, which means she can't run consistently like the Flash, and they're going to use that to their advantage. They're going to trigger her fight or flight response. Now currently she's bunked up with the Teen Titans, but her and Amanda Waller made a deal because Amanda Waller got her out of Australia, and the deal was if she did that she would join the Suicide Squad. And tonight, it's kind of like she joins or she's going to die. And right now, they know that she's away from Teen Titans Tower. And that is protected and it's restricted. So they're going to have to grab Bolt out in the open. And Waller also knows that after the movie, she likes to go for runs. And they're going to use this as their opportunity to get her isolated and then try to capture her. And so as we see Bolt head off on her run, Culebra makes a giant earthquake that gets her distraction. She thinks people might need some help because this felt like an earthquake, and so she makes her way over to that location to try to do something to help out here. Now this is where Amanda Waller tells us a little bit more about her plan, and this is where we see Keymaster. Now Keymaster, he's a teleport, and they're gonna use him to teleport Bolt from the alleyway into a prison. And they have another metahuman here by the name of Branch. And Branch, really all his job is to trip her. To use his branches, stick them out, and hopefully it trips Bolt. Now Peacemaker, he's like, are you kidding me? Like, we're just gonna trip her? That's the whole goal here, is to just try to trip her. And what if she escapes? What if she gets away? But that's when we see the arrival of Superboy. And Connor lets us know that's why he is here. And Peacemaker, he's like, dude, do we have a problem? Like, what's going on, Boy Scout? And Connor straight up, he's just like, fuck around and find out. And I absolutely love that. Connor's just like, find out, bro. Like, you really want to go? Let's go. But this is where we see our mission take off. And everything's falling into place. But as things fall into place, Branch, he's really trying to get out of here. He's not even a criminal. He's just a guy who got experimented on and then wound up here. And he's trying to appeal to Keymaster, saying, you could just teleport us out of here, away from Waller and all of this right now. But Keymaster lets him know, it's only a one-way ticket for one person, and he's going to be the only one to use the teleport. Now Peacemaker, he sees this and knows exactly what's about to happen. And this is when we see Keymaster, his head freaking explode. And this is when the plan goes completely sideways. Bolt doesn't trip on Branch, the teleport isn't open, and so they're gonna have to jump to a plan B. But Bolt turns around and she sees Connor Kent. And at first she's excited, Superboy, thank God you were here. But this is when Superboy, he tells her straight up, just run. But Bolt doesn't understand, and before too long, it's too late. Plan B has kicked into place, and Suicide Squad has dropped down all around them. But this is when Bolt takes her opportunity and she hightails it out of there. No one able to even touch her, no one even able to grab onto her. Bolt is out of here in an instant. And this is when Peacemaker, he's like, alright guys, like, it's time for plan C. It's time for us to raid the Titans Academy. And everybody, they're sitting here, they're arguing amongst themselves. Connor's just like, Waller told us this is off limits. We're not allowed to go in here. And Nocturna's confirmed that Bolt has already made it back to Teen Titans Tower. So for most of them, they're assuming that this is over with. This fight is done with. We're gonna have to wait for another opportunity. And as they're all sitting here arguing amongst themselves, this is when they hear a voice telling them that if they want to lead, that they have to think multiple steps ahead, not one, not two, but they have to think 3 steps ahead. And tells them, if they're done with this circus of clowns and they really want to break into the Teen Titans Academy, they're gonna need his help. They're gonna need the help of Red X. And that will be the end of this issue, as we see Red X standing on top of Peacemaker, with Peacemaker knock the freak out. So let me know what you guys think of this issue. I personally absolutely love it. Honestly, this is pretty much a Teen Titans Academy issue, and I really am enjoying how Suicide Squad and Teen Titans Academy are crossing over. We're seeing some of the Red X in these lines. I think this is their way of trying to promote the Red X a little bit more, not just in the Teen Titans Academy line, get people a little bit interested in both of these lines. But yeah, I mean, the artwork was absolutely on point. The writing was phenomenal. The banter between Connor and Peacemaker is just always phenomenal and just fantastic. But yeah, seeing the Red X pop up here, and we know the Red X is going to help them get in. We know that they get in. We don't know to what extent how all this works out, but we do know that Bolt ends up on the Suicide Squad, because we saw that in the Future State event. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you haven't yet, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell. Be sure to check into the channel a little bit later today because we're going to be covering the Swamp Thing and Crime Syndicate. And until the next video.